Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge, the hidden power of your subconscious mind. We're going to tap into the amazing work of Dr. Joseph Murphy to figure out how you can literally reshape your reality from the inside out. You ever just look around and wonder, why are things so different for people? I mean, it's one of those big life questions, right? Why is one person just crushing it, totally happy and successful, while someone else is just stuck, miserable, and failing? And what about health? You hear these incredible stories, right? People beating so-called incurable diseases, just making these miracle recoveries. And then others don't. It's heartbreaking. So what is it? What's the secret sauce that makes the difference?
Okay, and then there's this one. This one can really mess with your head. Why do so many good, genuinely kind people suffer so much? Meanwhile, you see some, let's just say, less than moral people out there, and they're just prospering. It just feels so unfair, doesn't it?
Well, according to Dr. Joseph Murphy, the answer to all of these giant questions, it's not outside of you. It's not about luck or fate or what's happening to you. The answer is right inside your own mind. And get this, it all comes down to the fact that you don't just have one mind, you have two.
All right, so this is the core idea from Murphy's work. You have two minds, and he uses this brilliant analogy to explain it. Think of a big ship. You've got the captain on the bridge, and you've got the crew working down in the engine room.
So, your conscious mind, that's the captain. It's the part of you that's thinking, reasoning, making all the decisions throughout the day. It's the one giving the orders. And your subconscious mind? That's the crew. They don't think, they don't reason, they just take the orders from the captain and make the ship go. They control everything behind the scenes, all your bodily functions, your emotions, you name it.
Now, this is the most important part to get. The crew, your subconscious, doesn't argue. It doesn't have an opinion. It literally can't tell the difference between a good order and a bad one. So if the captain is up there constantly thinking, oh no, we're sailing into a storm, guess what the crew does? They start battening down the hatches and preparing for a storm. They just believe whatever the captain says is true and make it happen.
So how does this all work? It's through something called suggestion. You can think of every single thought you have as a suggestion, an order that you're giving to the crew. Your subconscious is just down there waiting for instructions, and it takes you at your word every single time.
Just let that sink in for a second. Your subconscious can't take a joke. Every time you say something like, oh, I'm so clumsy, or I can never catch a break, you think you're just venting, right? Wrong. You're giving a direct order to the crew. They hear it, they believe it, and they get to work making it true. It's always on, always listening. And this can get really, really serious. I'm talking life and death. Murphy shares this wild story about a perfectly healthy guy who goes to a fortune teller. She tells him he's going to die at the next new moon. Now, what does he do? He believes her. He completely accepts it. He goes home, tells his family, writes his will. He's basically giving his subconscious the ultimate order. It's time to die. And guess what? The fateful crew carried out the order. He died, just as predicted.
But here's the real kicker. The fortune teller's words had zero power. None. He was the one who gave them power by choosing to believe them. He was the captain who gave the final order. And that means you are the captain of your ship. You get to stand at the doorway to your mind and decide which suggestions you let in and which ones you throw overboard.
Okay, so if this thing is so powerful it can do that, imagine what happens when we use it for good, right? How do we start giving our subconscious mind a better set of blueprints? Not blueprints for disaster, but blueprints for health, for success, for all the good stuff.
Let's talk about a blueprint for health. This story is incredible. We're talking the 1840s. Way before anyone knew what germs were. This Dr. James Esdale performed like 400 major surgeries, and his death rate was crazy low, like 2 or 3%. How? He used hypnosis to suggest to his patients that no infection would develop. Their subconscious minds got the message, accepted the blueprint for health, and their bodies just complied. It's an amazing example of the mind's power. And it's not just health. Think about a blueprint for success. There's a story of a young actor who, for years, just constantly imagined his name up in big lights on a theater. He didn't just wish for it, he lived it in his mind. He created this super clear blueprint. And that constant mental image gave his subconscious the push to compel him, to give him the drive and the guts to do what he needed to do until, bam, his reality finally caught up with his vision.
And it works for smaller things too, like a blueprint for wealth or abundance.
So there's this university student who sees this really expensive bag that she wants but, can't afford. But instead of saying, "I can't afford it," which is a terrible order to give your crew, she completely flips it. She just says to herself, "That bag is mine. I accept it mentally." And that same night, her fiancé shows up and gives her the exact same bag as a gift. Her subconscious heard the order and found a way to make it happen.
You see the pattern here, right? All of these stories point to the same thing. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and maybe most importantly, how you feel, that's the blueprint. And your subconscious mind, it's the master builder, working around the clock, taking that blueprint and building your life brick by brick. So how do you actually do this? It's actually a pretty simple 3-step process. Step 1, know what you want. I mean, really know. Get a super clear picture in your head. Step 2, you have to turn it over to your subconscious mind. You gotta have faith, like a farmer planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check on it, right? You trust the process. And step 3, this is the magic ingredient. You have to feel like you already have it. That feeling of gratitude, of thank you, it's already done. That's what really seals the deal and gets the message across. And that leaves us with one final, pretty big thought. Your subconscious mind is always working. The crew is always on duty, 24/7. Whether you realize it or not, with every thought you have, you're the captain on the bridge, giving orders. So the question isn't if you're building something. The question is, what are you asking it to build for you right now?